Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday drawing. Come on. There we go. No one's here yet. Okay, there we go. Everything's done. Let's move this a little. Hi, there's one person, 3 people. There we go. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It is time to draw. We are in book week right now. Good morning. I can see your comments now. Yes, so we're in book week. We're in day 2 of it. Today we are doing a Captain Underpants drawing. I tried last night to share a video with you guys. You know the fast motion videos I do. I used to do them a lot back when I kind of first started to draw again. I tend to take a lot of breaks from drawing and then I'll start up again. And I had done this Captain Underpants for my son. It was right when the movie came out and he wanted a drawing to hang in his room. And so I did one of those videos and I tried to share it with you guys last night, but Facebook was not having it. Also, if you watch these on YouTube, I mean, you're not seeing this right now. Maybe you'll see it when you watch it on YouTube, but YouTube is being very difficult lately. It is taking forever to get my videos to load on there. It doesn't matter what Wi-Fi I go on. It's just been a nightmare. So videos to YouTube have been slow. So sorry, YouTube watchers. I guess I'm just not meant to be a YouTuber because I don't know how they do it. I can't get them to load well. So yes, book week, Captain Underpants. Live drawing today, clearly, and then on Friday will be your not live drawing, which I will have to try to load very early onto YouTube, and that will be a Harry Potter doodle page. So it won't be in color. We're just drawing a bunch of different things from Harry Potter. So that'll be fun. I like the Harry Potter stuff myself. No other real announcements, no birthdays, no merchandise updates, really. We haven't done a second round yet. We're still working on trying to add some items to the options. And yeah, that's all I got. So hope all of you guys are well. Hope you're settling into the new schedule. It is nice having little breaks for me, I have to say. So let me flip you around and show you what we're drawing today. So there we go. There's our Captain Underpants. I think he's a really funny looking dude. Much like the Lorax, apparently it's avocado shape week because Captain Underpants is also very avocado shaped. Will the new items be new designs? Maybe. There might be a new design, but there also will probably just be some new things. We're looking at bags and stickers and maybe even masks. So yeah, there will be at least one new design. So yes, Captain Underpants, he's pretty funny, whether you've read the books or not. He's just a funny dude. He looks funny. If you haven't seen the movie, it's quite cute. Another movie I really enjoyed. So I drew him, you know, with his cape, and then I drew kind of the sign in the sky. So, yeah, kind of fun. You could add other things in. You could, you know, have him standing on top of the building. A lot of times in like cartoon illustration, whenever someone is like standing on the ground, you'll just see this circle shadow. So I kind of did that. you know, and you could color the ground and do all kinds of things. It'd be really cool to have a bunch of skyscrapers in the back, like of varying lengths, which could really just be rectangles with little windows all over it. And that's all you have to do. You don't have to even get too crazy detailed. But this is our guy today. So we'll see how I do today. Yesterday when I drew it, I'll tell you that whenever you're drawing a mouth, an open mouth with teeth, it's very easy for it to start looking really creepy. So I had to redraw the mouth a couple times yesterday when I was pre-drawing this. Hopefully today I'll get it a little bit better. But we're going to start with just his body shape, which is really kind of the shape of an avocado. So it's narrow at the top. So I'm just going to start with that curve at the top. And then it comes out and back up. Egg, avocado, whatever you want to call it. He just has that very large hip area. Now, once you have your avocado, a little over halfway up, you can draw a curved line for the top of his underpants. And then I'm going to start his cape. So just in this section about halfway up, I'm going to put a circle. And then I'm going to put two like teardrop shapes off of the circle for the knot in the cape. I may make a little more room for his head. I've made this pretty compact, but we'll see how it works out. And then I'm going to do a oval out to the side, a little hot dog shape that just kind of comes outside of the line a little bit. So it looks like it's going behind his body. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. Now this side I'm going to adjust a little bit later, but for now I'm just going to do this hot dog shape off to the side. And I already know I want to add a little bit of height to his head. He just needs a little more space. This also reminds me of Weeble Wobbles. Do you guys remember Weeble Wobbles? Some of my crowd is old enough to know what that is. Weeble Wobbles wobble, but they don't fall down. For his mouth, now here comes that mouth. He kind of has a smirk, so it's going to be bigger on this side. I'm going to do a little curve for the cheek. And then the mouth is going to come down and be a little bit skinnier down here. I already know I don't like it. And then it'll curve around and come back up. So see how it's more narrow over here than it is up here. It's a little bit wider at the top. See, you guys know the Weeble Wobbles. It's kind of what he is, right? He looks like a Weeble Wobble. You'll put a line in the middle of the mouth, and then you'll do the teeth. And like I said, mouths that are open, showing lots of teeth, they always do just kind of have a little bit of like a creepy look to them. Sometimes you just have to make the slightest adjustment either to the shape or you just have to color it in. And once you color it in, it makes the mouth look a little bit better. That's so funny. You called your bowling pins. And Sarah, welcome. If this is Sarah, I don't know if this is Sarah or maybe a child using their moms, but welcome. Happy first drawing. Now, just above the mouth, I'm going to do a curve for a nose. His eyes are two small ovals, like little pieces of rice. They don't have any circles of light or anything like that inside of them. They're just going to be black. And then two eyebrows up on the top. See, I needed that little bit of extra space. Now with this shape and even with this face, you could do other characters. You could do Humpty Dumpty. You could make this Tweedledee and Tweedledum and draw two of them. There's a lot of other types of characters that you could draw in this same exact shape. I'm going to put two ears, and his ears are low on his head. They're at the side of his mouth. Oh, hi, Carson. Welcome to drawing. Happy to have you. Now, the arms are going to start right below this start of the cape. We haven't finished the cape yet, but we've started it. So I'm going to start by just doing a curved V that comes down to his quote-unquote hips. I'm not sure he really has hips, but if he had them, they'd be right about there. And then inside, he has skinny arms. You'll do another. You can erase this line here, and you can erase this line here. And then he has four circular fingers. So just lump, 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 lump. Hello and welcome. We're going to do the same on the other side. So starting below the cape, V, rounded V, coming into the hips. That one got a little bit big. There we go. That's better. Inner line with those skinny arm. Erase this line here. Erase this line here. There goes my eraser. And lump, 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 lump. Very, very simple hands. That's kind of the fun thing about Captain Underpants is there's really nothing that complex about the way he looks. Now that I have the arm in, I'm going to finish the cape. So these, I'm actually going to end up erasing this line, but the cape is going to come out. So this is the bottom line of the cape. And then this top portion is going to come down and then arch back in. And so let me erase this little bit and you'll kind of see what shape that makes. So his cape is just kind of flying off to one side of him. And this is what it'll end up looking like in the end. Now, the one I did yesterday, his arms were out more. I drew him a little bit different today. So his cape actually went behind the arm, whereas today his cape is going over the top of his arm. So, you know, sometimes you have to modify your drawing just a little bit depending on where your limbs are. Now let's put the detail in his underpants. His underpants, we're going to do another line that curves. And then we're going to do a line off to the side that curves down. And another one for that trim of his tighty-whities. And you do that on both sides. Now for his legs, he's going to have like a gap between his legs, but his legs are also thick. Like the only thing really skinny on him are his arms. So you're just going to curve a line out and down. And then on this side, you can curve a line out and down. It's the inside line of each leg. And now for the foot, I'm going to bring this around for the heel. And then I'm going to do another little line that curves off of that for like the arch of the foot. And then I'm going to put the big toe. So see how I kind of built a foot shape? And then I'll just do little toes off to the side of it. So I did 3 additional little kind of hot dog curves. And on this last one, it'll come in and curve back up into his stout leg. In fact, I'm going to start it up here. So the leg is probably like the trickiest part. The foot's a little bit trickier than the arms were. The arms and the hands are pretty simple. The legs are a little bit, and feet. So again, I'm kind of curving around for the heel. So make that first. Then do another curve for the arch, keeping them about level with each other. See, I could bring this down a little bit more. Do a big toe. And then 3 little hot dog curves, 2, 3. And then this one comes back in. Made that ankle too skinny. I'm going to come up from here and make that wide leg that comes down. And then I'll just erase this little bit of line. Just like that. I'll clean that up a little bit when I'm in my pen. I'm going to do that oval, that shadow oval, which you don't have to do. I'm going to start it up above the feet. Bring it back between the legs. And then the ground line would actually be above that. And what that does is, in a way, is it kind of adds dimension, like you're seeing some of the ground behind him. Because sometimes when we draw, you know, we put the ground line right at their feet, so it always makes it look like they're just standing on a ledge. But this gives you some perspective. It gives you some stuff behind, some as if he's on a hill, versus just standing always right at the top of a ledge. So that's kind of all that really does. And when you add this, like when you do a ground line back in the back, you've added this depth. But if you don't put the shadow circle, then you kind of just end up having him floating. It gives this weird floating thing. So the shadow circle like grounds him. That's kind of what that does. And so now I want to draw the underpants in the sky. And I'm going to draw the whole shape, and then I'm going to break it up a little bit. So I'm going to just do a curved line. I'm going to come down on both sides. Come in on both sides. And then across. I'm going to do 2 lines right here. 1, 2. And 2 lines here for that side detail. And then 2 here. Now, when I draw this with my pen, and I'll go ahead and do that now because that's all I'm doing in pencil so far. I am going to do the circle with the little light shining, but I'm going to add that. As you can see in my original drawing, I didn't outline that in pen. I just did that straight in the color. But see how we outline the underpants? Because we want to show some shadowing in them. And to be honest, you could even not outline them and then just have, just start coloring around them. In fact, let's do that. Let's do something a little bit different today. So I'm going to keep these just like that. I'm not going to outline my underpants. If we had a word of the day for this drawing, it would be underpants. Doing a tiny little detail line in the ear, just adds some character. Eyes, just colored in, no circles of light. Eyebrows. That smile. Big toothy grin. And then this time I'm going to go straight into that cape. And then this cape goes straight into the arm. See how it just flows with the arm line? Up to the armpit, down to the underpants. So if you don't know the story of Captain Underpants, I can't remember the boys' names in it. Harold and somebody. And Captain Underpants is their principal at their school. And he's kind of a, well, I don't know so much if he really is a mean principal, but the kids they do a lot of tomfoolery. The principal doesn't like it. But they end up turning him into Captain Underpants. And he fights all sorts of goofy bad guys. And I didn't do this in pencil, you guys, but in the Captain Underpants, George, it's George and Harold, right? Did I get Harold right? He has nipples, ... Just very simple, just very subtle. You can leave him off if that's too embarrassing. But it shouldn't be. We all have them, right? And it kind of adds a little humor. Because he has those pants pulled up so high. And I can't remember, do they use a ring? Something that they get from like I don't remember how they turn him into Captain Underpants, but I want to say it's a ring. That when he looks at it, it spins and he gets hypnotized into being Captain Underpants. Okay, so there is my outline so far. Again, I'm just going to leave this. Let's pretend like that doesn't even exist at this point. We will save that for the very last bit. I'm going to erase all my pencil marks. Does anyone read these books or have you just seen the movie? I think there's just a TV show too, I want to say, a series. It's funny. I think even adults would enjoy it. It's pretty cute. Okay, now for Captain Underpants, he's very simple as far as colors. He has a red cape. And for those that are new, when I color, I like to go around the edges. You'll see, because if I trim the edge and color, then when I'm coloring the space in between it, I can go faster, and it helps me not go outside of my lines. There are some illustrators, cartoonists, who always color out of the lines though. So that's why you should never really get too hung up on that. Don't worry about it too much if you do, because maybe that's just your thing. There are some that always do it. And it's just part of their style. A drawing is never ruined by a little bit of color outside of a line. Now this space right here would be red too, right? Because we're seeing that cape flow back behind his body. Sometimes when you see him, his cape is just red. Other times when you see him, it does have black spots. You can do it however you like. I've seen both versions. And then I have a flesh tone that I'm going to use to color him in. His underpants stay white. It's part of the funniness of him are these super white underwear. And he has some different sayings. I don't know them off the top of my head, but he has certain things he says a lot. So you could also write a saying off to the side. We do that a lot where we'll write a little something on the page. So maybe you have a favorite Captain Underpants saying. You could draw in George and Harold hanging out with him. If I can get that video to load today, I will. It had George and Harold and then has Captain Underpants flying in the sky. And it's one of my videos where, again, when I only work in pen, so I don't use pencil at all in it. I just go for it. Oh, there we go. That's it. Tra-la-la. That's Captain Underpants saying. I couldn't think of it off to my head, but I knew it was like kind of a little song almost. Turning my page, it makes it easier for me. Always turn your page to get to those angles. It's better than tweaking your hand all up. And now I just have these feet. Feet and legs. Go around that edge, and I can go fast. And this one. Did anyone come draw today just because it was Captain Underpants? Have you been waiting for Captain Underpants? Actually, Captain Underpants wasn't on any of our lists. He wasn't on any of our requests. But I don't know, when I decided it was book week, I wanted to do a couple different varieties of books. I feel like, you know, Dr. Seuss is for a lot of our much younger reader, and then Harry Potter goes into the older and into adult, and then our Captain Underpants is kind of like early reader. My son read these a lot a couple years ago. He had all the series. Okay, let me get my black. That's always super short. So I'm doing this shadow down at his feet, black. And again, you can color the ground a color as well if you like, or maybe you've added him somewhere else. Maybe he's standing on top of a building. Rosie, we almost did Shel Silverstein. Did I say that? Or did I said Dr. Seuss, right? We almost did something Shel. He's my favorite. And now when you're coloring with black, when you're using a black pencil, you're always going to get some of the white. You're always going to get some of the white showing through. You can fix that with a blender pencil. So if you're coloring in pencils, definitely make sure you go online and get yourself a blender pencil. They're pretty life-changing in the coloring world with pencils. A lot of people don't know about them. If you've been drawing with me, you do, because I talk about them. But the blender pencil will really help you kind of blend out. See, if I zoom in on that, you can see all the different white. And let me find my blender pencil real quick. Or not so quick. That's white. There it is. If I take this blender pencil, I'll do it right here down at the bottom, and you can see the difference it makes. So you can see right there, see how it went from this with like lots of white in it to a more solid black. And it just works with this little blender pencil. It blends the color. It'll also blend two colors together. You can do some kind of ombre looks with it. But it helps get rid of that white that you get a lot of times when you're coloring in with pencils. It can also help you kind of fix directional issues, because sometimes when you're coloring, you know, if you're coloring up and down over here and left to right over here, you'll see that directional shift. The blender pencil can help blend out some of that direction. So I'm going to just do that a little bit. You've always wanted to color in his books. Yeah, you know what? As a kid, I remember almost taking one of my books and like coloring it in one time. Okay, so I'm going to do this circle in the sky, and I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to have it starting from his head. It's going to come around the underpants and come back to his head. It's about as even as it's going to get. And then you can have that, like the light that's shining it, you're going to build it off of the side, have it angle down. And then it would build off of this side and angle in. So it should be narrow and get wider. And then what I'm going to do today in this underpants is I'm going to color. I'm going to end up giving this no outline. So I'm coloring this line across, Because technically what it's supposed to look like, right, is this is shining this image into the sky. So it wouldn't really have an outline. I'll color this down. And then color in that circle. Kind of outlining the image with just the color. You'll see more when I'm talking about once it's finished, and I'm kind of trying to hide the pencil lines some. I'm not too worried about it being super sharp edges. It's, again, supposed to look like light that's shining, so it should be a little bit blurred. And my color right to the edge of that circle. Color out to the side. I'm going to get a lot of white in this. That's okay, because you would actually see some of that, right? It's not going to be, it wouldn't be solid in the sky. You would just see some of the background kind of reflecting through. So I'm not too worried about that. You can take a blender pencil to that if it really bothers you. But otherwise, another thing I'll do at the end is I'm going to add a little bit of yellow, which will make it look a little bit green because, you know, blue and yellow mixed together make green. But I'm coloring it darker this time than I did before. And I'm rotating my paper because I kind of want to keep this like circular motion within my coloring. Remember how we just talked about directional change? I kind of want to color this in a circle, which just kind of helps maintain the shape. Go right over the top of his head. So see, without the outline, I like it better because see, the outline, it just looks like it's outlined and then you're coloring around, where this makes it look like that image is being shot into the sky. It kind of looks more like it is supposed to. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of yellow and just kind of add a little bit of yellow in here, just for some brightness and to give it that illuminated look, right? Like it's lit up. And it will give it a little bit of a green tint in some places, but I just kind of like the way it looks with that yellow because it makes it look more like it's being lit up in the sky, like it's a light shining into the sky. In fact, you could really even color this whole thing yellow and then color the sky in blue. That would be another swell option. Put a little bit of yellow into this area too. And there we go. So again, you can color in your ground or add any other little extra things you would like to your drawing. I'm going to leave mine as that and just put my name, my age, and where I'm from. And that is our Captain Underpants. So pretty funny, pretty cool little guy. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you share your art. I would love to see what you've created. You can load it right onto the group page, or you can put it into a Captain Underpants album. You can also share it with me on Instagram if you follow me on Instagram. And there will be a drawing on Friday, a Harry Potter doodle page. It will not be a live drawing. It will post at 10, I hope, as long as YouTube is cooperating with me. It will just be a link directly to the video. And I will be back on Saturday drawing with you live. So have a great day. Happy drawing, everyone.